Well, hey folks, it's Mark here. Welcome back to the channel where it's all about racing. Today we're going to take a look at the top 10 most viewed cars on my channel. I used to do these, it seems like a long time ago. It was probably only about 6 months ago. I haven't done it in quite some time, but the channel's about a year and a half old now. Maybe it's not even quite that old. And I thought I'd go over the cars that don't suck as much. My You Suck videos, which showed the 10 least viewed car on my channel, did pretty well. I thought it was kind of fun doing it. And this one's going to be fun too. So let's take a look at, I'm actually going to show you 11 cars. The next one is in 1/18 scale because I only have 2 cars in 1/18 scale, and it is actually the most widely viewed car on my channel. So let's take a look at that one now. And here it is. This is a Porsche 911 RSR, the number 911 car. I first saw this car at VIR in 2019. It was a livery I believe that the Porsche factory team used for about 2 years. I think it's iconic, it's neat looking, it's not the most clever one they've come out with, but for a standard livery and not a one-off, I thought it was really neat. Apparently you guys did too, because it's one of only 2 1/18 scale cars that I've got in my collection. It's an IXO model, which means it's not very expensive. You can get this for about $100 or less. This got 977 views, it got 22 likes, and it's been on my channel for over a year now. Now this car was the 10th most widely viewed car on my channel. This is 143 scale IXO, Porsche 911 RSR. That with the Brumos throwback livery. Really, really cool. If you take a really close look at these blue lines, they're number 59, and the red as well. That was Brumos' number that they had for years and years, and their livery was like this. It was white with blue and red lines on it. This was a throwback livery. It was a one-off. It was used at the Petit Le Mans. It was 2019. I'm sorry, it was a 24 Hours of Daytona, not Petit Le Mans. Back in 2019. Really, really cool. 10th most viewed car on my channel. And speaking of, I've talked to a lot of reviewers, and it's kind of interesting. It seems that the most popular cars that you have generally are the newer, and most of us have only been collecting, cars for a few years, so you tend to collect a lot of new cars. If you're a real serious collector, you get a lot of Porsches, because there's a lot of them out there. They're really cool. I kind of started with IXO because they were inexpensive, and I graduated up to Spark and to Look Smart. And today, to be honest with you, I really don't even look at IXOs anymore because the Sparks are just so much better cars. Now, if I was in this just to get views on YouTube channel, I'd probably collect Hot Wheels. They're a hell of a lot cheaper. There are a zillion of them out there. Some of them are really expensive, but I grew out of Hot Wheels when I was about 6 years old. I don't begrudge anybody for collecting them because they're not bad. I collected NASCAR cars, and that was really stupid. But anyhow, I've grown up. I'm into bigger and better cars, and I hope those of you out there that enjoy this channel do that as well. Now, number 9 was the Spark 2020 Wall Racing. I call it the Pop Art Lamborghini. It's actually a gear racing Lamborghini, but the style of this livery is pop art. This was done by Andy Blackmore, who does a lot of the artwork for the cars, including this one, and Michael Norris put a really good video about this car on his channel. Check it out if you haven't. It's really, really neat. This I just thought was really, really cool. It's certainly different, and apparently you folks appreciated it as well. It got 428 views. It got 13 likes, and it's been on the channel for a year. Now, this is the number 8 car on the list, and this one kind of surprised me because this is an older Porsche 997 GT3 RSR, and typically the older Porsches that I have do not do as well. In fact, they're among, and there's a bunch of them on my You Suck list, the Porsches or the cars, period, that were not viewed that much. This one, however, has been very successful. Got 486 views, 14 likes. It's been on the channel for about a year. I don't know if it's because Felbermeyer is just a well-recognized car as it competes in Le Mans year after year and has had some success. The livery I don't think is that clever, to be honest with you. I do, however, like it. But anyhow, that being said, let's move on to number 7. Now, this car has one of my favorite liveries of all, regardless of what Porsche they painted on. This is an IXO 2018 model, a Porsche 911 RSR. that premiered at the Petit Le Mans. It's really clever. It's really cool. It's a throwback livery. It was a one-off. I mean, this is an old livery that I believe adorned a Porsche 956 or 963, one of the two. Anyhow, really neat. The car was white like this. It had gold wheels just like this has. And this was a tribute to that. Has been extremely popular. It got 490 views. It only got 9 likes. It's been on the channel for a year. And speaking about likes, guys, you know, whenever you view somebody's channel and you look at something, give them a thumbs up. You know, tell them they did a good job, even if they didn't. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to do this. And I give every single video that a thumbs up, whether I think they deserved it or not. And quite frankly, anybody that puts something on YouTube, I think deserves it. Quite honestly, even if it wasn't great, even if it wasn't your thing, even if you disagree of their review. I try to give you honest reviews of cars that I like. I've quite frankly told you time and time again that IXOs are great values for the money. I've collected a bunch of them. I believe that every single collector that collects 143 scale probably starts with IXO because they're inexpensive. And it's a really quick way to get a lot of cool cars that don't cost a lot. Unfortunately, they lack detail. They lack quality control. This one is a particularly good one. I have many that have not been. But anyhow, you know, if you can get this one, you know, today and you like it, I would certainly say buy it. I have not found this particular car in the Spark line anywhere to this point. And I generally have replaced a lot of the IXO models with Spark equivalents if I was able to find them. This one I haven't, so I really like it. Now, the car that was number 6 on the list was an IXO 2018 Ford GT. Why am I showing you the Spark model? Because I got rid of the IXO model. I gave it away to some kids. I hated the thing so much, I gave it away for nothing to kids. I would have destroyed it if I hadn't. It was one of the most regretful purchases I ever made. The car was so out of scale, it was fucking terrible. Glad it's gone. Glad I replaced it. However, a lot of you did view it, and I hope a lot of you didn't buy one. And I know a number that have not bought one because they told me so based on my review. But it got 603 views. It got, 563 views. It got 7 likes and been on the channel for about a year. Like I say, it's gone. I've replaced it with both the Spark model that you see here, and I've got a couple TSMs as well. I really like the Ford GT. I just didn't like the IXO. This next car was the 5th most viewed car on my channel. And quite frankly, if, in my opinion, any car got the most views, it would have been this one. I love the Porsche 963. It's a Porsche dealership edition. These dealer cars are more expensive than your standard Spark entries, and sometimes you can get cars like this that are just regular Spark entries, come in the standard box, and they're substantially cheaper than these Porsche dealer edition cars. These cars typically cost $100 or more. This one certainly did. No surprise. The story behind this is absolutely amazing. If you have not seen my review of this, please check it out. It's a really cool story. It tells about the 75 years of Porsche, and this car represents a number of different Porsches that have raced over the years. Hence this cool livery that you get. And it competed at the 2023 24 Hours Le Mans. Nick Tandy was one of the drivers of it. Anyhow, that being said, this car got 603 views. It got 39 likes. The second most liked car on the channel. And maybe you guys really did appreciate all the work I put into it. It's only been on the channel for 5 months. So I expect, you know, it to get more views. Unfortunately, when a car has been on your channel for a number of months, it kind of gets buried under all the rest. And I have about 350 cars that I reviewed. So this is kind of deep in there, even though it's only been on for 5 months. But guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't checked this one out, I appreciate it. If you haven't, check it out. Let's move on to number 4. Now, the car that's number 4 is the Manthey Grello. Yes, the Manthey Grello. Those guys from Germany. This is a 2019 Porsche 911 RSR. This is the yellow and green, you know, Grello, green and yellow, I guess. I think that's what it's about. Anyway, this one's yellow and green. This is an IXO model. I like it. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I don't know if the number panels that have this almost looks like a bleeded red look are what it's supposed to look like. I just don't know. And I don't know if that's just an error or if it really does look like that. If anybody really knows, please tell me. It's one thing that has bothered me ever since I bought this car. But anyhow, otherwise, it's a pretty cool car. I like the Manthey Grello look with the arrows that just flow backwards, kind of like they're doing they're putting it in one of those chambers where they measure airflow over the car. Just really, really neat. This car was number 4 on the list. It got 660 views, 8 likes, and has been around for a little over a year. Now, this car is the runner-up to the 10 most viewed cars on my channel. This car, believe it or not, guys, this has only been out for 13 days. 13 days, and it's number 2. It is a Spark 2023 Porsche dealership collection model, that of the JDC-Miller Motorsports Porsche 963 in this stunning, cool yellow livery. Guys, if you've seen my paddock reviews, you've seen this car. I've highlighted it in several. I don't think I saw this one at Watkins Glen when I was doing the reviews. But anyhow, it's now the number 85 car. It was the number 5 car just last year. This one got 675 views, 613 days, 675 views, 24 likes. Just an absolutely cool car. I think gorgeous. I'm glad you guys liked it. I certainly love it. Proud addition to my collection. And let's get to the number 1 car, which probably won't surprise many of you, particularly if you're regulars on my channel. Now here's the number 1 car on the channel. It is the number 80. Rexy Porsche. That from Autumn Oaks Racing. Guys, this car, I'll tell you, this particular model is a TSM model. I believe that in IMSA, TSM has almost exclusive rights to the cars that compete in IMSA. I know the Spark version is available of this car, but it was the one that raced at Le Mans. It's different. Well, it's basically the same car. But anyhow, this car came out, it was back in March, and I was at Sebring, and Toronto Motorsports had this. They did not even have it on their webpage, but they brought some to the show. I know I was the first one to ever buy one of these because I know the guys there. I was there a day before everything started. I bought it that day. When I got back, I reviewed it. It's an absolutely cool car. And if you've ever been to the races, the folks at Autumn Oaks Racing, this is a kid favorite. I think it's an adult favorite. This was inspired by PJ Hyatt's children, to do a dinosaur, which they did. Very, very clever. They make this into a stage production at races. They have a guy in a dinosaur uniform that dances around. Spike the Dragon, their LMP2 car. I don't have a model of that one yet. They've got a dragon. They have leprechauns throwing around coins. They have palm trees. I mean, they make a Broadway production out of the car. It's really, really fun to watch. I believe I filmed it. I don't know. I think I took pictures of it down at Sebring. I don't know if I filmed it and put it in my paddock tour, because generally when I do my paddock tours, they're setting everything up. So it's kind of like pre-staging it. The thing, if you want to see the cars, when they're doing the productions, you got to do that on later days. Paddock tours, I think, are most interesting in when they're setting up, because they're basically setting up the paddock. They're not paying a lot of attention to the car. You get almost unlimited access to it. You can peek inside of it, film it, whatever. That's the best time to do it. This car was out, and I believe I got some pretty good shots up at Watkins Glen. So if you haven't seen it, please do. If you haven't seen this car on my channel and the review of it, please take a look at it. This is sold out. But I'll tell you one thing, and I found this out from Toronto Motorsports. Even though they sold out of this, and I believe it's sold out pretty much worldwide, they're going to make more of them. They could print 10 million copies, or make 10 million of these if they want to, if people will buy it. And they will. So they will make, I don't know how many of this they made. TSM doesn't give numbers. These are not limited edition cars, so I don't know if the first batch or 1,000 or 10,000. But it wouldn't surprise me if they make 20,000 or more of these cars. So over time, those of you that really want this car can probably get it. I know the Spark version of it is available on eBay. It's pricey. Spark cars normally retail for about $85 to $100. If they're dealer edition cars, it's $100 to $120. TSM are $90. They're $90. That's the retail price on it. If you pay over $90 for it, you paid too much for it, unless you really, well, if you really, really want it, you did. I paid $90 for this. That's exactly what I paid for it. It was retail price. So anyhow, this one is available. It was number one on the list. No surprise. Only been out here for 3 months. It got 50 likes, 827 views. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. I have about 20 cars that I haven't even reviewed that I'll be putting out every few days until I run out. See ya. Thanks.